What's up with it, man? You know what time it is. The boy Push, man. Mitch, host of the No Fluff podcast. You already know what it is. This is a very special episode. I got my brother Bitcoin Rodney, aka Mr. Meta Puff. If you don't know about that, then you better watch this episode because we about to break it all the way down. Is a super entrepreneur, not only from the crypto space, but just in general. He's been doing the rental car businesses, yacht businesses. He's been buying businesses, selling them. Every real estate that you've seen, he probably done had his hands into. So, my brother, welcome to the show, my boy.
Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it very much.
You already know. So, as you can see, we are in his crib right now. This might be strange to y'all because y'all see two cars behind us. But this is not your normal crib. And we not on the first floor, are we, bro?
We are not on the first floor.
Okay, we ain't gonna say the
close.
number. We're not gonna say the number, but we up high. I'm looking at a view this way that y'all, I'm gonna probably do a B-roll right here and show y'all this view. But y'all gotta see this. But we up on a very high floor and we got his cars right here in the living room. And this is his crib. But what's going on, man? How do you get something like this, bro?
A lot of hard work, dedication. I won't say hard work, but smart hard work. Because one of my first dreams was I saw this commercial one day on television. It was in Dubai, and this guy left a club. He met this girl, and when he took her to his house, they rode up on the elevator to his home. And by the time they got upstairs, I don't know if I should say that, but they were both naked. She was so excited about the ride up to the apartment that I said, I want to live like that.
Crazy.
And then one day I was down here shopping for a restaurant, and one of my guys who live here said, "Man, you know, around the corner there's a place where you get in your car and you drive into the elevator and lift your car up and puts your car in the living room." I said, "Take me there." And we came here, and I just shed a tear. I said, "I got to get in there." But these places are not cheap at all, and so I had to save up, get my credit right. So in about 6 months, I was in here. And now I'm excited about that. There are over 24 billionaires that live in just one building. So the networking itself is incredible.
So that's strong. So this is like what everybody should probably try to manifest for themselves. I mean,
Exactly,
even if it wasn't just the elevator, it's the networking, it's also the proximity.
Yes.
And you accomplished something that was a dream of yours.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's look, so we know Bitcoin Rodney, super successful. We seen you everywhere doing your thing. You got the apocalypse trucks, you got the Lambos, you got the Rolls Royces. But who is Rodney before all of this stuff? Like what was your background? Did you already have a background in like entrepreneurship?
If I can be honest, if I could be transparent, I came straight out of prison into entrepreneurship. I was an entrepreneur prior to that, but was not doing the proper things. I was doing what every young guy does at those days and try to make fast money. Then I paid my debt to society. And before I came home, I had to figure out a way to make an income without going back. I didn't want to be one of those guys who went back to jail and went backwards. So the first thing I did when I got home, staying in my grandma's house on her basement floor, in the basement, I borrowed a laptop and I started marketing from the basement. That's why I buy all my chains, say this is Bitcoin Rodney from the basement, 2017.
Wow.
Right? And I started making my own videos. They were in the dark, they were terrible, but I did start. And I couldn't talk that well. I wasn't, expert college degree, professor. I just did what I could and I learned as I went along. So I earned as I learned and I learned as I earned. I didn't just say I couldn't do it. I tried my best and I kept getting better and better and better to here we are today. Hook it up with a great guy named Pusha Man Mitch.
You feel me? I like that. That's dope. So look, it's also a note to your character as well for being able to persevere through that. But it also talks to the people who think that they have to come from entrepreneurship background, have money in their family, all of these different things.
All you gotta do is you gotta want it bad enough.
Right.
I mean, you gotta want it so bad. If I started to choke you right now and choke the breath out of you, as bad as you want that next breath, that's how bad you have to have it. No more, no less than that. And then you will start to proceed to get what you want in life when you want it that bad.
So there you go. Words out of the mouth. So we got to understand this. So you came from going straight from prison to the basement.
To the basement.
Then
Grandma's basement at
to
that.
grandma's basement. And
As a grown
you know what's
ass man.
so crazy? And look, we didn't even know. I used to live in my grandma's basement. It was
Right.
crazy. So my mom, like, we lived in Europe, right? And then we moved back to the States and we went back to Philly.
Right.
And we stayed in my grandma's basement. And I had to walk to school from there. And that was my mom, my brother, my sisters, we all stayed in my grandma's basement. For like a little bit over a year.
Humbling.
Yeah, so it's, look, the basement might be the move. Some of y'all might need to go to grandma's basement right now.
Exactly, yo.
No, but you came from that situation and you came to all the way to being able to afford cars in your living room.
Yeah.
And now people want to know, because I know you personally have made other people a lot of money.
Yeah.
So can you give them a couple tips where, if they starting from nothing, maybe they can do a couple things. Can you give them some advice on how to make a little bit of money?
Yeah, I mean, some of the things that I'm doing right now, I'm doing because it's easy for the average Joe or average Joanne to do. Right now, I'm working with a company called Canna Globe, or as my brand called it, Mr. Meta Puff. And this is a program that I said no to 10 times first, because I don't smoke. I do, every now and then I have a beverage, but I don't smoke. However, I started driving down the street, in every corner, back in the day, you would see a liquor store in every corner, right? Mm-hmm. Now you see a smoke shop on every corner, or a vape shop on every corner.
Right.
You go to a club, every female and male had a vape pen in their hand. And if they lose it, they lose their damn mind. They lose that vape pen.
This is true.
So I started doing the math, and I said, do I see all of these actual vape stores on every corner? Because the average person can't sell their products across state lines legally. And so the company that I got with, they are the Amazon of cannabis. Things that are THC, things that are not THC, things that help you grow, things that help your hair grow, your eyesight, body, medicinal, and the THC stuff as well. So we have all those products you can click at the point of a link on your profile or somewhere on your social media, and somebody can order whatever they want, deliver to their house within 2 to 3 days. Almost any kind of THC product, maybe edibles, brownies, smokables, bakables, you name it, it is there. All you gotta do is go to mrmetapuff.com. That is MRMETAPUFF.com, like fabulous.
Okay. So, all right, so this is awesome. So it's the Amazon of cannabis.
There you go.
I like that. So how can they start making money with that company as well?
They can go to that link right now, and there's a video they can watch. It explains the entire thing from A through Z in about 20 to 30 minutes. And as soon as they watch that video, they can call me directly. Personally, I answer the phone in my own emails, and I will train and coach you from zero to hero to make sure you earn money that week. Not 2 weeks, not 1 month, the same week. The reason why? You can throw a rock in any direction, and 98% of America is 420 friendly in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And so I'll teach you how to go from zero to hero, where you have a little bit of social media, or a lot of social media, or if you're an influencer, even bigger. So right now, I'm dealing with names like, I can't even name the names, I guess, on here. But later on when you call me, I'll tell you these major names and brands that are actually doing what I'm working with.
Gotcha.
And we get you money that week.
Okay.
And that's just one of the things we can start with.
Right.
We have multiple of other things too as well, but we'll start right there because it's very simple and easy, and it's a very, very trending subject.
Okay. So what was Bitcoin Rodney's first business?
One of my first businesses was before at grandma's house or that?
After grandma's house.
After grandma's house. I sold milkshakes. I sold online programs. I had a company, and it was called, I forgot the name of the company, but it was called, what was it called? It's called the shake mix that tastes like cake mix. It was a weight loss milkshake.
Okay.
And that did very, very well. I sold all kind of health products online. You name it, I sold it online. Cars, all kind of other easy programs, Bitcoin, crypto programs, and that everything did well. A lot of things that I did failed too as well. I failed first. I failed my way to success. So every program that I started did good for a little while. In some way, shape, or fashion, it maybe went down for whatever reasons. And then I had to start all over again. I had to keep starting. And then I learned to create my own. And that's where I'm at today. So I create my own products. And I also still join other programs too as well that are already doing well, and I combine them together and make things happen.
That's smart. And I love, you know what, one thing I respect about you, I love that you always are promoting your brands. I like that you don't even name drop other brands for real. You like, look, all right, it's my company. We're going to talk about my company. You always got your apparel on your vehicle, on your clothes. I like that because people don't really understand how important building a brand and advertisement is. And people will know, nobody's going to not know your name.
That's correct.
You got on your cars, you got on everything, from social media,
shirts.
hat, everything, chains, all of that stuff. So let's talk about that. What taught you about branding? Who taught you that?
One day I was sitting on the corner of my grandma's house up the street. I'm sitting on a little small brick wall, just sitting there thinking about my next move. And I saw a truck ride by and it said Pepsi-Cola. Then another truck came behind that and it said Walmart. And I kept every business had their own name on it. Mm-hmm. You know, like Gucci. Gucci is somebody's last name. Prada is somebody's last name.
Right.
All these companies, you wear their clothing, and then you say you want to grow your own business, but you're promoting someone else's business. And then you go buy their business instead of buying your own. How do they know how to buy you if you ain't promoting you? So I promote me. So right now, one day I was in China. I was in China. I went to the Great Wall in China. And I'm sitting there using the bathroom, taking a leak, right? And this guy is staring at me. I feel uncomfortable. I'm like, guy, what are you staring at? And he looks at me and he says, are you the real Bitcoin Rodney? You know, I was like, yes, but I forgot I'm in China. But so my brain has gotten so big because most of my clothes are sold over in China overseas, more than in the United States. So I have, Bitcoin sweaters, hats, socks, all the way down to the socks, you know what I mean?
Crazy. Swaggy.
All the way down to the socks, you know what I mean?
Swaggy. And look, that's incredible, bro. That's a great story about the urinal.
Yeah.
It's
true
crazy.
story though, true story.
No, it's true because, I travel a lot too and I see things when I go overseas. Even one of my friends, they got a brand called Support Black Colleges. And every time I'm traveling, I take a picture of somebody wearing their brand. We be all over the place.
Right.
And I'm like, dang, it's so crazy. Like, we think of it as small.
Right.
Like, we don't, as soon as I send it to them, they be like, that's crazy. Like, I never thought somebody would be wearing my stuff from like Australia or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
You feel me? But they do. And the more you promote it, the more, nobody's gonna promote your brand more than you promote your brand. So imagine what happens when it starts to get legs and arms of its own. That's what happens when you naturally build a brand that separates from you. Because now it's just a brand. So that's why somebody asked, are you the real Bitcoin Rodney? It could be just you wearing the clothes.
Somebody wearing my clothes, that's
you
correct.
get what I'm saying? So that's important.
So let me tell you what's really important, I believe. So I actually get a lot of questions because I go to these certain countries or to certain clubs and I spend, 5, 10, 20, a lot of money in the club, right? And people always ask me, why are you spending so much money in the club buying liquor and drinks? I said, I'm not buying liquor and drinks. I am paying a fee for marketing. This is my marketing budget. I put the same thing you see when you watch Super Bowl and you see a 15-second commercial. They paid millions of dollars for that 15-second commercial.
Right.
And when I'm in the club marketing or buying all these bottles and they come across my table with the Bitcoin Rodney signs, everybody's doing this. And they put it on social media. So now that is magnifying across hundreds of thousands of other people on social media.
Facts.
So now everybody knows the name BitcoinRodney.com.
That's facts. I seen you in the club myself. You was with the Migos one day. I seen you with all of these rappers. I see you all over the place, bro. You did the Breakfast Club. You're all over, traveling all over the
Rick
world.
Ross,
Man, Rick Ross. I've seen you on all these different platforms, all these different people, and it's a networking piece as well.
Yes.
So not only do you know people, but that people know you. That's first.
Exactly. Right.
They know your brand. And people are literally shouting you out all over the place, bro. It's crazy. So a lot of people don't think of it as marketing when you go to the club and stuff. That's something I do to write off business expenses as well.
Definitely write off.
Because, I don't drink.
Right.
So if I go out and I go get me a section, you better believe it's going to say follow Pushman Mitch on that sign.
Exactly.
I'm going to take a picture,
Exactly.
document it, and then I'm writing it off because that's the reason I'm there. And I often give the bottles away to the other tables, right? So that not only does it say, yo, who is this dude right here? I get my sign, and then this dude sent me bottles. So then they come say, yo, what's up, bro? Just like how you would say, what's happening, Rodney?
I mean,
appreciate that bottle. And then that's another networking piece outside of the marketing piece.
A lot of celebrities that I should see in the clubs, and I said that person need to see who I am. And so I'll go spend 5 racks, and I would send them bottles and say from Bitcoin Rodney.
Right.
And then I'll send it to my tax attorney, the pictures, so it could be written off.
Absolutely.
And I mean, so that saved me money and made me money at the same time, and I got the connection with the new celebrity that I could do business with.
I talk about that all the time, about paying your way to relationships sometimes. And sometimes it takes that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes you just, hey, look, let me shoot a couple dollars over here. It might be in the form of a bottle. It might
Right.
be for take care of a tab.
Right.
And then might just be direct advertisement. Hey, how can I, be on one of the sponsors for your event you're having?
Correct.
And that will make people have the conversation with you that they normally wouldn't have. That'll make people say, look, if I want to say, look, man, I got Mr. Metapuff coming out. I want you to be a part of the program.
Right.
I think it would benefit both of us with you joining. They're going to listen to you because you done spun some cheese.
Right,
They
right.
see that you're serious about it. So a lot of people avoid making these relationships because they don't want to spend money. They don't want to earn their way. Because there's only a few ways you can build relationships with people. You can pay your way, you can earn your way, or you can work your way.
Right.
So if you're working for them, you got to work for their company.
Right, yeah.
How many people can walk up to Bitcoin Rodney and have a conversation about business that you don't know? How many people can say, hey, what's up? I want to tell you about my company. How many people can do that? Nobody. But look, if I send Rodney a bottle to his table, he's going to be like, hey, man, appreciate you for the bottle. Hey, yo, appreciate it. Let's tap in, man. Let's take a couple pictures. It might be organic at first, but he's going to be open to me talking to him about business if I come through with money first. A lot of people, y'all should use that tip that he just gave right there for that.
But to be honest with you, I think you spoke at one of my events.
Yep, for
You
sure.
know,
for
a
sure.
huge event.
For
you know
sure.
what I mean?
Massive. Probably, look, I do a lot of conferences.
Right,
I'm going to be
right.
real. I talk about this all the time, bro. You don't even know this. I go speak on the GOAT conference. I did Earn Your Leisure. I did all these conferences all over the world, right? Yours for the Bitcoin conference?
Reinvent yourself with crypto.
Reinvent Yourself with Crypto conference?
Yes.
It was state of the art. I went back there and them screens, bro, it was HD. I never, there's nobody's conference I've done. I've done conference in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium for the biggest lawyers in the world. And I promise you, they didn't spend half the budget and have the quality of stuff that you had on your conference.
And I didn't have not one sponsor. I did all that myself out of my pocket.
Crazy.
Out of my pocket. And guess what? From that event, I've had so many individuals call me and say, hey, the guy, Pushman Mitch, do you know him? Yes, that's my guy. What's his number? I want to get into the rental car business. Here it is.
For sure.
Am I lying?
Plenty of, I'm talking about, it might be an infinite amount. I did interviews where I see you on Bitcoin Rodney's conference, blah, blah, blah. And people come up to me all the time. So it's always a networking and relationship building type of situation, especially when you get the right relationships.
Exactly.
So how important to you is having the right connections? Because I see you with everyone, bro. Literally.
I mean, it's important. It's too important because you can't get anywhere by yourself. It takes the right few. You don't need a lot, the right few. You don't want everybody in your business. Everybody ain't good for you.
Facts.
And you figure it out sooner or later in time. Trust me.
Absolutely. We know for sure.
You know what I mean?
It's a fact.
But we are still great friends. And he ain't gotta call me every single day. If I need him, he'll call me back. If he needs me, I'll call him back.
100%.
And here we are today. And there's been times I go to Atlanta. If I go to Atlanta, I call Pushman Mitch first.
Facts.
Yo, if I send friends there, I have to call Pushman Mitch
Facts.
first.
Let me know what's up. I'm
Exactly.
take care of them.
And
no, it's important though, and I do appreciate that too as well. Even this interview, this is a blessing. Look, y'all, I don't know how many of y'all been to a crib like this, but me in particular, I've been here before when he first got it, but I just wanted to bring y'all in here a little bit, and I might break into a little B-roll and show y'all around a little tiny bit, just so y'all can see how my boy.
You remember when I was living inside the Fontainebleau Hotel?
Yes. Yes. And then he just told me now that he sold one of his units at the Fontainebleau and how much he just profited off of it. And that's what's important. And also I get to learn from seeing what you do as well. So me in particular, I will understand the business back. You just told me how you was going to be the person who holds the earnest money.
Right.
That's another play that I get to put into my toolkit.
There you go.
And then use in the future. So that's how important relationships are. So I'm gonna ask you one more thing before we get out of here. And we'll give some people, let's say, what would be the advice you would give to your 18-year-old self?
18-year-old self, that's a good question right there. Never, ever give up. Because when I was young, I would kind of give up quickly. And I had to learn one thing as a child, is I didn't grow up with parents who had money. So I went to school all the time with busted shoes on or no shoes, flip-flops, and all the other kids would have the nice things because their parents were doing well, but I never, ever gave up on my dream and what I wanted. I stayed consistent. Even though the times when I was locked up or I got in trouble or things failed, I never, ever gave up. Stay consistent, stay persistent at the proper things, and be sure you are reading the right information on a daily basis, putting it into your head. You can't always listen to all the rap music every single day. You got to read information that actually trains you on what to do and decide decisions every single day. Like one of the books that I tell you everyone to read, The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino. This book has made more millionaires than any other book ever written. And it teaches your mind what to do, because most of us will let our minds just run rapidly. We have over 10,000 thoughts per day in our head. And if you don't learn how to control them and redirect them in the proper direction, you will lose yourself. So you got to have the proper information, because you have friends and family around you, people you love, and they'll redirect your mind for you because you can't redirect your mind yourself. So be consistent, persistent, and read the right information. I don't mean this want something you hear like on a dialogue, radio, audio. Get the book, put it in your hand, and read it over and over again. This book is only about 90 pages long, but it takes 10 months to read it. By that time, now your brain has formed something called habit, and not only habit, but good habit. And then you're able to make the right decisions on point all the time. That's what I suggest you do.
That's a perfect way to end this episode. Mr. Meta Puff, aka Bitcoin Rodney. I'm gonna drop all his links right below this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share it with your mammy, because she got to get this information too.
Peace.
We out.